And so while the words universities, push to the boundaries of quantum technology and AI to solve critical global challenges, the La Republic of Cameroon's government a day ago celebrated the inauguration of a driving school and a printing press at a university in Boya. To critics, choosing to embrace such outdated technology signals a profound failure of leadership and vision, especially in a community while struggling after years of an ongoing devastating war. Well, in contrast to the urgent demands of 21st century higher education, La Republique de Cameroon's Minister of State for Higher Education, Professor Jackie Fame Ndongo, recently presided over official ceremonies at the University of Boyer in the Atlantic zone of Fako. Well, the colonial government's focus was on the inauguration of a new university driving school and a printing press, trivializing the immense potential and pressing needs of a higher institution's learning. Fermin Ndongo, alongside the colonial Minister of Sports, is also slated to open a university sports championship, further diverting attention from substantive academic pursuit. While leading universities worldwide are actively deploying artificial intelligence in agriculture, developing solutions for climate change and water management, are you talking about innovating in healthcare delivery and exploring the frontiers of quantum computing? Beer's educational leadership appears content with a significantly outdated agenda to claim a university driving school, fostering intellectual curiosity or alignment with our nation's drive for technology advancements. Highly delusional. The driving school, officially sanctioned by the Colonial Ministry of Transport, has been presented as a step forward towards professionalizing education and creating new income streams. These initiatives, involving equipment from a French partner, promises to train drivers across various categories and issue international licenses, even suggesting an automobile repair department. But the very notion of a university dedicating resources to such a venture in an era rapidly progressing towards autonomous vehicles exposes a critical lack of foresight from the governing elite. Amongst the questions critics are pondering upon, the most daunting is what real academic rigor or future oriented research is embedded in operating a driving school. While schools have been destroyed, academic life disrupted, and the generation education jeopardized by the very war the colonial government has failed to resolve, the BA regime is most focused on its upcoming October 2025 presidential election. The proof is found in these recent actions and inauguration, which are a strategic political maneuvering. They aim to project an image of competence and stability calculated to sway public opinion and secure support for the current incompetent administration. Rest and base here. There are two things happening here. One is elections are around the corner, and so projects are being initiated every day to make the people forget about some of the things that they should hold there. Secondly, is the fact that people, I mean, driving schools can be owned by individuals. I mean, it's one of those entrepreneurial, skills that people just have aside and use it to, make monies and all of that across some other climes. But it's amazing that that is what a university is doing at this time. You would want to ask, which road are they even going to drive? Are they going to learn to drive through? You want to ask critical questions. When and where are they driving these cars to? So many questions here to ask. But then, one thing that we are sure here on Undaunted is the fact that all of this is geared towards the elections that is coming up. I'm sure you could trace the dots and you definitely agree with me.
Well, that's one of the. In fact, everything is possible in Cameroon. Just anything and everything is possible because we live in the most developed parts of the world, in the United States and Europe. We have not seen any university training people how to drive cars. And then talk about driving schools. As you have rightly said, all those cars that don't have any place to drive in Douala and Yaoundé, those drivers went to what driving school? They went to which faculties? They learn trade at the corner there. They even learn it there. They go and buy the driver license and they drive around. So the top of a driving school, to be, I don't know whether they call it a school or driving faculty or whatever they will call it, but it's shameful. Because I remember the University of Boya was opened in 1993, more than 30 years ago. That university has a faculty of engineering, in addition to the School of Engineering. All the engineers that were produced in the last 30 years, how many of them are able to dismantle the engine of that small car, just taking the system and taking it down and rebuild it, not even just rebuilding what somebody has done for them. And yet they have graduated as engineers. You ask yourself, engineers of what? And then you ask again, if people have to go to a driving school in 2025, university driving school, we live in Europe and the United States. The cars have moved from fuel cars to electric cars. Here in the United States where we live, the cars are driverless cars. The cars drive themselves. So they are still now 40, 50 years behind technology. The system send children to a certain thing they call faculty of driving in Boya. It's shameful. Shameful. Because the University of Boya was created the same year with the University of Douala and the University of Cham and a few others. The University of Douala has about 10 professional schools under it in everything that you can find. But it has nothing. We heard somebody asking somewhere not long ago that they should come and open a campus in Samilima. Samilima, well, we don't know. The University of Boya has the least developed faculties. They have nothing. They don't have any other schools. At the very least, Bamenda, which came after them, they created something they call a school of transport. Faculty, well, a school of transport or faculty of transport. If they needed driving, they should go to that type of nonsense. And so what is this boy to show? Nothing. They are all political toys. You see those cars they put there, they are supposed to learn driving there. That's why they're supposed to teach children how to drive with those cars somebody gave them. How many of those cars can drive even from the university campus in Boya, in Moriko, up to Boya town? How many of them can drive there? There's no road for that small tiny thing. They cannot even go around campus because there's no road in campus. So this driving school they are trying to open is to save who and for what we don't know. They are all political promises meant to be to satisfy the youth. School, driving school. Is this where the children will go? Where the police will not come into the campus and rape the girls, as they did in 2016? Where's the computer program that they have there? He died. Mr. Farman who was cutting that ribbon there, took 15 billion to China and brought tablets that were not working, and they stole the money. And so behind the endeavor that they do, you see craft, you see graft, you see theft, you see orchestrated politics and things. Until the people running the school, the University of Boys, so to say, have the different, if they cannot conceive something academic, professionally academic, something worth the name, they better shut down. They better go home and rest. The whole idea why people fought for the University of Boya in the 1980s, until it was created in 1993, was to develop people worthy of the sword, not to bring imposters as professors, or whatever they call it, and put them there who earn no money. You remember? So the people were in this early struggle. Agwambala, for example, he was giving some part-time lectures in law on the University of Boya. But because he was teaching, he was an Ambazonian, they fired him for teaching the history of Ambazonia in one of his courses. They fired him. And so a university without the freedom to learn, without the freedom to teach what is necessary, is not a university. It's a political place. And Cameroon is not tired of those things. They create universities, some of which have no meaning. One of which, for example, I would refer you to mention. There's one here only there. They call the University of the CPDM. Headed by who? Headed by Ngole Ngole. Ngole Ngole is a professor. They go to school for the CPDM to train CPDM militants. They appoint Ngole Ngole with he has the rank of professor. He sits there. He's paid on taxpayers' money to run a party school. What else can merit punishment? What else can merit criminal prosecution than this? And for that position, the whole. You find all of them. Elections are coming. Ngole is gone on foot. He could be managing by where he comes from, begging the people to kill Amba boys. He's carrying even a caterpillar on his head. He won't pretend that they're digging the road. So they might vote CPDM. This is stupidity. This is the heart, the pinnacle of assimilation, intellectually and mentally.